Alright, Trailblazers, this is part 2 of our Amphoreus recap. Back at Akama, the three sisters decide they need to restore the memories, blurred by fragmentation, and seek out Orynyx. However, they are ambushed by the Reaver, who had already stolen the Core Flame of Time, which results in Trian sacrificing herself to save the Core Flame of Passage. In light of this new threat though, the Chrysos heirs understand that the Reaver is seeking the Core Flames, and in order to complete the Era Nova, they need to take back the Core Flame of Time. This involves Anaxa volunteering as bait using the Core Flame of Reason inside him to draw out the Reaver. They battle and even attempt to seal him in the past with the help of Mem. However, this fails and Mighty arrives just in time to force the Reaver into retreating, leaving the Core Flame of Time behind. The Trailblazer then takes on the Trial of Time and learns that they have actually been dead since they arrived in Amphoreus. With the Soul Reaver having retreated, Anaxa comes to the forefront. He had been working on a theory prior to the Trailblazers' arrival in Amphoreus. He believes that everything in Amphoreus is made of the same material, memories, and he wishes to prove this before he has to go. He and Castris head to Kefle, since it stands to reason that Kefle is rebuilding the world based on their own memories. However, since Anaxus only has 15 days to live, and he needs access to Kefle's body to do this, he has to side with the Council of Elders. Using his power, he accessed Kefle's memories and proved his theory that Amphoreus was cyclical, and that the titans of this cycle were the Chrysos heirs of the past, and one of those heirs was Castris, who was reborn in this cycle due to the actions of her sister during the world's rebirth. So Castris and the Trailblazer head to the Sixia with the help of Cyphera to recover the Core Flame of Death and to restore the Trailblazer's life. However, Castris' sister had died the moment she resurrected her sister at the start of this cycle. This meant that Castris and the Trailblazer would need to complete a ritual in order to revive her. Castris succeeds and they embrace before Castris becomes the next demigod of death, and with her newfound divinity, revives the Trailblazer. We return to the Citizens' Assembly where a vote is taking place to remove the Chrysos heirs as leaders of Akama. However, the vote fails by 1 when Anaxa betrays the Council of Elders and votes to continue the Flame Chase journey. With his time coming to end, Anaxa passes the Trial of Reason, and the Core Flame of Reason and the Core Flame of Death are returned to the Vortex. Outside Amphoreus, Black Swan tells Himiko that the Garden of Recollection has been trying to unlock the secrets of Amphoreus for their own purposes. Meanwhile, a group known as the Cleaners ambush the Chrysos heirs and their allies in order to distract them from their main operation, Akama. They seek to remove Aglaia from her position as leader. They succeed and Aglaia loses her life in the process, but she manages to expose the Cleaners and the Council of Elders as betraying Akama.